There we go.
Tesla drivers will soon be able to connect to each other via Bluetooth, allowing them to speak to each other and communicate to other Teslas nearby. First comment, road rage about to be like a COD lobby.
Oh, I was going to say.
Oh, it all sucks so much. All right, we're live on YouTube. We're live on the Twitch. All right, close all that stuff out before I get distracted by Twitter.
Why? What's happening on Twitter?
Oh, just like every once in a while, the Ed McMillan, the guy who designed Binding of Isaac, will go on this like retweeting spree where he's retweeting all this fan art, and a lot of it is really cool. So I'm always like, oh dang, like this person they made like this giant, incredible mural out of like 10 pieces of graph paper and a pencil. It's like, dang, how'd you guys do that? Also, it's gross because it's Isaac, but like, dang, yeah.
Boston, are you ready for me to fucking destroy your fucking wallet?
No. Yeah, no.
Did you find another pen set?
No. They have a Binding of Isaac mystery box that comes to you every fucking month.
I have seen that, and I really don't like anything that has been in there. So, like, the easiest way to not get my money is to put something Isaac on a t-shirt, and all of those t-shirts... I will put this kindly. I think they suck. I don't want nearly any. I think the only merch that I've liked from Isaac is like the plushies and the little figures that you've bought. I think of like the individual characters. I think those are really cool. But like
my ones are up here. I don't know where your ones are.
They're back there somewhere. But like anytime they start pushing especially like boss enemies, like boss monsters on
what you
stuff,
don't want a t-shirt that looks like it's been in a porn set.
I don't like it. I love Isaac, but like I don't want a plush of Monstro. You know, like I don't want any of that. Man.
Also, for the record, by the way, I picked up sellotape at the bottom of my thing. Like, this is a blue drink. This is grape flavored.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck? Like, grape is one color, guys. It's fucking purple when it's in liquid form.
Yeah. Blue tastes like blue. Get it right. Doesn't taste like grape. Come on.
I'm so pissed.
I can hear.
Hello, Fayror.
Clearly.
Thanks for joining us. All right.
I'm pointing out Boston's typo. That's always hilarious.
Which typo?
At the top.
7 coding, dude. We're 7 coding.
Oh, man. Are we 7 coding today? Oh, snaps. Now I know where that 7 went when I was trying to type the stream name. Oh, there it is.
When you hit a key, you know it's fucking somewhere, but you don't know where you type out it. Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite fucking shit ever. I love it when you do in fucking Excel sheets as well, and you're just like, shit. Dude, one of these fucking cells has got a wrong number in it.
I don't know what
fucking worst.
I don't know what cell I have just selected. I don't know what formula I put in there. I'm just gonna hit Control Z like 3 times and hope for the best.
Because I was just thinking about that. It's like when you're going through code and you randomly fat finger it, and you're like, oh, I'll go back and fix that, and then you forget about it, and you can't figure out why the fuck your shit isn't running right.
My favorite for Destiny Emblem Collector, every once in a while, I'll like fat finger something, and then the site just crashes, and I'm like, ooh, okay. Now I have to figure out where in my database I've missed a quote around the word null, and it's freaking the whole site out.
Yeah. It's just sending everything to null.
Oh, yep. The number of times that has happened.
No matter how poor you think you are, if you have a family, you have no chance of getting out of poverty.
Dang, you didn't have to come for me like that. Shower thoughts hitting hard. Dang.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yep.
Fucking no.
Ish. All right, let's start in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your incredibly exhausted host, Boston. Joining me is, as always, my migraine-laden co-host, Moonpeer.
Hi, this week I'm incredibly sad. Yay!
And the seemingly okay, the Nimp?
Yeah. I mean, you should look at getting one of those vitamin D lamps for your basement.
Dude, I take vitamin D supplements every day. I have 2 giant jars of the things over here. I take 2 a day.
You know, you could just stand outside for 15 minutes. That's literally all it takes.
Dude, you are in the north as well. You know exactly how not sunlight I'm going to get.
And we both know that we have an hour window to get that sunlight.
That's right.
Dude, I'm at work in that hour window. If I leave from my seat, I get electrocuted.
All right. If you want more things like that, you can listen to our uncensored exclusive Outcast over at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones are the number one, by the way.
We're shockingly, this week, we didn't talk about everything other than video games. We only talked about video games. We talked about the Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard King deal.
Yeah, we talked about how we didn't want to talk about industry news, and then immediately talked about news.
30 minutes talked about the industry. So you can go get that over there, get our hot thoughts about the FTC over there. That's exclusive for patrons at the $2 tier or higher. You'll also get early access to We Rogue Like It, the show where Moon and I are playing just so much Vampire Survivors right now. We recorded like a 27-minute episode or something like that. It's a lot. You get early access to that, and you get early access to Critical Misses, the show where Moon and I are catching up on all the media hits we missed. We're almost done with season 17. That should be wrapping up here in the next, I think by the end of the year here for patrons. Almost got that out flawlessly. I'm great. I'm a professional. And right after that will be the season 18 production meeting. That's the exclusive episode for $5 and higher patrons. You get to hear how Moon and I kind of continue to pile more things onto this spreadsheet that is already creaking under the weight of it. And then how we discover kind of, it's not even like really decide what the next season's theme is going to be. It's really more of a discovery of just like, hey, what about this? And then at the last 5 minutes of the episode, are like, but what about this? And it's like, well, that's perfect. Let's do that.
I mean, look at the bright side, dude. We have 12 quote-unquote seasons of remake balls down, and that's like a half a year of content if we just did those.
True. That's so much stuff. But you can get all of that and more over at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones are the numbers.
Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I kid. I kind of played nothing. Played a whole bunch more Disney Pop because I have my phone on me at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even write it down, Boston. It's not worth talking about.
You can't stop me. I'm already doing it.
Events are happening. Costumes are being got. There is an event for getting costumes, which is getting you more costumes. It's the usual mobile game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just got someone from that movie that I can't remember. It's weird. I've never known Disney to break the fourth wall this much, but when you're in the costume store, they talk about how you can get costumes for specific IPs, and they literally don't write intellectual property. They just write IP, and then expect you to know what IP means.
Okay.
And use that term like 9 times, and it's like, Disney? What if it's a kid?
Yeah, what if it's a 9-year-old? They're like,
IP is.
What? Like,
yeah, they'll put it together by context.
Father, what's IP? It's just like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. See, what they're doing is they're laying the law down real early so they can teach them young, you don't mess with our stuff. That's what they're trying to do.
That's right.
Like,
Mickey Mouse is ours. Don't even look at
it. You don't get to touch our IPs.
That's right.
Like, ever. And also, I don't understand why they only have like 5 different color balloons and like they don't use like different things during different time of the years. Like,
right.
If they don't have Nightmare Before Christmas like tiles instead soon, I'm gonna start getting really annoyed with them.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's right there. Halloween has just passed. Christmas is right here. You should be doing this stuff.
Yep.
I did have to put up Christmas decorations on Friday, which was great.
Tis the season.
I mean, we picked up ornaments for the tree, so we don't have a tree yet.
We had like 9 new ornaments this year. It's supposed to be 1. 1. Not 9. 1. Well,
Merry Christmas.
Whatever. One is a Grogu and one is a Stargate, so I'm not going to complain.
There you go.
I was gonna say, did you buy the Death Star tree topper with the remote control? Because I looked at that and then I saw it was $139. I was like, that's cute, and then kept walking.
And closing this tab.
But yeah, it's Marvel, Pop Town, Disney, whatever it's called. I don't know. It's fine. I'm currently building my third world, so I come to a maybe not an ethical quandary, but a moral quandary when it comes to this game, the Pop Town thing. Because the whole purpose of it is you complete levels, you get stars, you use the stars to rebuild the town that you're in.
Right.
So I finished the first town, which was a town I forgot already. Oh, it's the Mickey Mouse town. So it's like old school Mickey Shorts town. I did the second town, which was Winnie the Pooh. I'm currently on my third town, which is Aladdin, and it plays Arabian Nights in the background constantly. Okay. So my music was immediately turned off. Yeah. When you complete certain stages, oh, you did 7 repairs, here's a little mini reward for you, or oh, you did this in the event, here's a little mini reward for you. It's like, congratulations, now you have 30 minutes of infinite hearts.
Oh, sure.
Now you have 15 minutes of infinite hearts. The second I get one of those, I'm just like, come on, I don't want infinite lives.
I don't want to play more. I thought I was done.
Yeah, I did this to complete this quest, and I want to be done, not sit there and pop more balloons.
Right.
Although it is strangely satisfying to destroy Mickey's face over and over and over again.
That's true.
Like Fight Club. I want to destroy something beautiful.
That's right. Welcome to the
show,
show,
was Jared Leto. I mean, come on.
I know.
It's weird. But it's fine. Whatever. Might as well keep the mobile trainer rolling. And snap your fingers for the best game of the year. It's
Boo.
Marvel Snap.
Yeah, I played a
it should be in the conversation, dude. You cannot tell me
for
that
sure.
This game should not be in the conversation.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I if you're not, it's one thing if you don't like Marvel, which I 100% understand, but if you're not at least trying this game, then I don't know what you're doing. This Snap is really great.
So I think we can all agree that the person who I love you. I hope you don't take offense to this, friend of the show, and Boston's personal friend. But I think we can all agree that the person who takes things a little bit too far is Bill.
So yeah, longtime friend of mine and fan of the show, Bill Saferd.
Whatever the game is, if he's playing it, he is god tier. In Destiny, he's got everything. In whatever game he's playing, he's right at the top every time.
Yeah, I really appreciate that he
Marvel Strike Force. It was the same thing. It was Bill was right at the top. It's like, okay, I guess that's just Bill.
Yeah, he has a real innate skill for these games to kind of find the best way to play it that isn't going to break you, because I'm trying to, my natural inclination for games like this is I need to know what every card synergizes with everyone. I need to build 15 perfect decks that are perfectly set up for all these different, and I'm really trying not to do that. This time I have one deck that is really weird and is kind of bad, but works for me 50% of the time, and that makes me pretty happy. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm all right with being okay.
So that's how I knew I was getting pretty bad. He's my stick measurement for I might have a problem, if that gives you an idea.
Okay.
Because when we were playing Marvel Strike Force, I think I unlocked Black Bolt right before I stopped playing with the Black Bolt event, and I was like, oh, I can unlock a Black Bolt in the very first event. And Bill's was like, yeah, I got him too. I was like, oh no. I don't know if I should feel happy about this.
I have become too good.
But sure, I am up there with Bill now, which is a problem. And Marvel Snap, everyone in the Discord is like, oh yeah, the new update's coming out with the if you miss a card, you can grab it from this like selection thing that they've coming up, which
earn tokens. I think we talked about it last week a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like I did some reading that everybody had posted on the Discord about that, and I was like, that's really cool. Like I think that's a nice update coming in and allowed me to fill in those cards that I don't get. And then somebody was like, oh yeah, if your collection level is like 1,002 or 1,000 and above or whatever it is,
yeah,
then the chances are that you're going to get some extra collection coins for your thing.
Yep.
And I think, Boston, you responded with like, I'm 783. I ain't getting anywhere near that.
I think I made a lot of progress this week, and I think I'm like 815 or something. Like I am okay with not being up there because I don't have enough of the in-game credits to get to that point.
So I know I'm getting close because I'm now almost always matched with people with titles.
Yeah, I have started to be matched with a lot of people with titles too, which has not been good for my win ratio.
Uh-huh. And I checked and I'm at collection level 943.
Super close.
Like I'm right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that I'm not that, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not that far behind Bills. So maybe I should just uninstall the game right now.
We love you, Bill. But my thing...
I do. I genuinely adore the guy, but it's like, no. Like, no.
The thing that's making me feel better about the collector tokens, I think they're calling them, is that if you're like under... I think it's like 500 to 1,000 collection level or whatever. You get 3,000 tokens, I think it is. If you're between like 1,000 and 2,000, you get 6,000. And something above that, you get 12,000. So for me, I'm like, 3,000 is probably... I'm only looking for one card, and I can probably buy it with 3,000, so I'm okay. So I'm pretty happy.
I'm the same. I'm looking for one card because I got 2 cards because I got Armanzola in my last cache, which is great because
I recently got that
goes in my destruction deck, and that's great.
So
the only 2 cards I need now are for my destruction deck, and that is, well, one's destruction, one's discard. I need death for my discard deck.
Sure.
And I need venom for my destruction deck, and then I'll be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, I'm only looking for Agatha Harkness because I want to make an Agatha deck because that whole thing tickles me.
It's literally because you just want to sit there, hit play, not have to worry about it, and then just tap the end turn button all the time.
I like the idea,
that's the dream, isn't it?
I like the idea of there are downsides to playing her, but I like the idea of someone just being like, "What is this bot doing in this match?" And then I throw down Agatha in the last turn, and they're like, "Ah, I see." Now it all makes sense. So,
I'm not gonna lie. I know how powerful death is because twice I've run into people running a discard deck, and Ghost Rider pulls a discarded card straight onto the board. By the way, which I did not know.
Yeah, I don't think I have Ghost Rider, but it is very strong.
Because I watched someone discard a Hulk and be like, why are you... Okay, sure, you're
why are you
using this
throwing
one
that
to
out?
get rid of the Hulk. Why are you throwing that out? Next turn, his Ghost Rider, by the way, his Hulk. And I was like, Aha,
I see. I'm in trouble.
Checkmate.
That's right.
Now I see. But I've also seen people running a similar deck accidentally get rid of death and then immediately retreat. And it's like, I get it.
Fair enough.
That's your go-to card.
Yep.
Not death, Hela. Or get rid of Hela.
Yeah.
Death is the one who I'm getting in my destruction deck. Hela is the one in my discard deck.
Gotcha.
But yes, Marvel Snap continues to be great, and I need to know if I'm just the only weirdo who does this, because I've got a feeling I'm going to hit the 1,000 easy. The reason I think I'm going to hit it quote unquote easy is because I haven't bought the season pass yet.
Because you haven't completed it yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Smart move. I mean, it's only $10, but like, why spend the money if you haven't completed? I think we have 2 weeks left, 1 week left or something like that?
1 week. The new week, the final week starts this Monday, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that's when the final week starts for the season pass. But I'm at level 47, so...
Oh, sure. You'll get there. Yeah.
My next card is a mystery variant, which I'm super excited for. I hope I get a cool one.
Yeah, mine is I'm at 47 as well, and I'm really worried I'm gonna pull one of those pixel variants, and I don't like any of those at all.
The Squirrel Girl one is fine. I like
that one's not bad. That's fair.
In my store today, I do have the banned version of Multiple Man, and I'm like,
that one's pretty
really
good.
should get that because Multiple Man is like in my rotation right now. I just got him to hologram status, so
nice.
I should potentially pull him out and start doing that. But
right,
I get confused with variants because it's like I have 2 Miles Morales as Spider-Mans. And if you filter by upgradable, Miles Morales Spider-Man basic version is always there. But I'm like 2 points away from having the hologram upside down version of him
right,
made into an infinite card.
Right.
So it's like, I hate the fact that he's there because I don't want to see him so that I can focus on the actual other version of him getting evolved, not that version.
Yeah.
So I'm always careful with where I spend my credits for my upgrades.
Ditto.
But no, the reason I'm waiting until I get to level 50 is not so much because it's like just to make sure I do it. In my case, it's I want the hit at once. I want that.
You want the fire hose directly at your face of like, here's 45 rewards. Let's get them.
Yeah. I'm not interested in a slow drip feed of random crap into my veins. It's like, no, I want to hit this buy button and I want to scroll through 50 things and claim 40 of them, which
Credits,
are the non-free versions.
And variants and boosters. Get them all.
Exactly. I want that. Like, ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh
we
yeah.
get so few joys in our life. Let us have this one.
Exactly. Like, I just want to Macho Man my way down the list, be perfectly happy when I get to because by the time I get to the bottom of the list, it'll be collector cash time. It's like, ooh, randoms, which I'm fine with. So yeah, I'm a couple of levels away from getting the season pass done. Then I will probably buy that because the Ancestor variant is pretty cool as well for Black
that's
Panther,
not bad. Yeah,
who I haven't used any of those cards at all.
Black Panther's pretty strong. What's the other one from the season?
Is it Naka, the one who powers up the left 2 cards?
Yeah, there's the other one that powers up every card in your deck too. I don't remember what that one was called.
That's Okaye, I believe it is.
Oh, okay. All 3 of those are pretty good. Yeah.
I love this game. I hate the fact that I love this game, but I genuinely love this game.
It is definitely one of the biggest pleasant surprises of 2022.
I was expecting some crap from this. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking, it's a collectible card game and it's Marvel, yay!
But like, what's so wild is apparently people have been playing it in beta forever and really loving it, and it came out, and I'm like, what is this? Oh, you guys have been playing this for months? Like, what is this thing that everybody seemingly is super pumped it's in like public access now? And I think I played that first like 30 minutes, and I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
And like the best thing for me is like seeing the slow insidious growth from like all of the different podcasts I listen to, all of the different like sources of like like people who I follow on social media, podcasts. It's like nobody's talking about it. Then 3 or 4 weeks after it launches, one person starts talking about it, and then 2 weeks later, everyone is talking about it.
The wildfire finally catches.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like the same on Twitter. Like I watch Patrick Klepek be like, "So should I try this Marvel Snap thing?" And then I think it was Gary Witter was like, "Yeah, you really should." And then he tried it, and then suddenly Rob Zacny is playing it. Gita Jackson is playing it. It's like, oh no, like it's just this disease that's spread around while everyone starts playing it. But that should tell you how good it is if it can get people just like that. And I did not mean to snap my fingers then when I said just like that.
Very good bit of marketing. I like it.
No. That was an accident.
You can get started and snap.
It was accidental branding. Thank you very much. That's the best kind of branding.
That's right.
But yeah, Marvel Snap is great. 2 quick things for my final 2 games. I played SWATs, which is hilariously named for an English
Okay.
person. That is Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, which
okay.
I think Nimp played a while ago.
I looked into it. Yeah, the one on Game Pass.
Yes.
Yep.
So
was
that
such a
leaves
weird
Game Pass in 3 days as of right now. So guess what? I got an alert and therefore I had to play it. Of course. Because that's the way my brain works. So Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, for those of you who don't know, it is basically a rapid fire, like, capitalism simulator where you have to purchase organs and sell them for a profit to people who are making particular requests for that kind of organ.
Yeah. It's pretty much an Excel sheet with a GUI on it.
Yes, essentially. The humor is great. Like the little bits and pieces of writing that are in the game is pretty solid. In particular, I like the robot who you repeatedly do missions for, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got human emotions, and now I feel broken. Please get me a new brain."
Okay.
It's like, I feel you, robot friend. I feel you. Like,
Big same.
yeah, that's everybody right now. Well, it's relatively simple. Like, you get 3 minutes, do all this bunch of trading. There's people in who will buy things at the same station that you're at, essentially. So you'll be competing for the same items. Pro tip, if like me, you don't want to think and don't want to have to focus too much on it, there is an accessibility option which turns the speed down. So you can just
nice.
take your time and browse at a pace that is appropriate for yourself.
That's nice.
It is, because I was getting overwhelmed with.
I was gonna say, it throws a ton of information at you at once.
And like 3 minutes to do as much as you can in the space of like the one quote unquote trading day. It's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So you can just jerk that that speed monitor down. It's like 1 time speed, 5 times speed, 3 times speed, and then speaking of Excel sheets with a GUI on top, 21e minus 04e speed.
Great. I love it.
So it's literally an Excel sheet with a GUI on top. Like it's the speed. I literally think that just pauses the game. By the way, I think it just goes to
probably
like
It's a
nails pace.
It's a turn-based mode.
Yes, but no, it was fine. I played it for a couple of days because honestly, I didn't want to think. Like I just, after the week I've had and everything being what it is, I was not interested in getting into anything deep. I was not interested in trying to be patient with questionable quality video games. I'm looking at you, Saints Row. And I just wanted something dumb and fun. So I knew this was a quick and easy completion, he says with quotation marks. It is. So I just jumped in, played it for a few hours, got all my achievements, and bounced.
Nice.
Organ Fondler might be my favorite achievement in the game.
All right. I appreciate it.
It's a pretty solid one. I'm not going to lie. I definitely appreciate that. I'm not even going to write it down because I know Boston's going to veto it. There is an achievement for getting like 56 feet of intestines in your ship at once, which was the final achievement I got.
Okay.
So it was just like, okay, sure, why not? So, it was fine. It was fun. Sure, whatever. It is now uninstalled. If you have 4 hours on the day this comes out, I think you should be able to get it done before it leaves Game Pass, maybe. We'll see. It's cool. And it was a Kickstarter game made by like 4 people, it looks like. So I'm fine with that. But yeah, it was fine. And for the record, for those of you who do not speak English version of English, SWAT is someone who is rich and posh, someone who is well-to-do, and goes to a private school with the dorms and everything like that. That is a SWAT. So it always tickles me whenever I open up the guide menu and it says SWAT. It's like, what are you calling me? Xbox? Don't you start with me. My final game this week, speaking of Blue Sky games that I really could do with, is Pupperazzi.
Pupperazzi.
This is, for those of you who don't remember me talking about this like 6 months ago, This is the game where you're just taking photos of puppies.
Yep.
That pretty much sums it up.
That's it.
Cartoon style, really chill kind of vibes where you just get to go in, take a photo of a couple of doggos, and then, get on with your life. You are a camera, by the way, in human form. Or just a camera, I should say.
A camera with arms and legs. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And somehow when you take a selfie, you must remove your eyeballs and point them at yourself because there's just a camera in the shot, which makes no sense to me. But okay.
As one does. You guys don't do that?
No.
Not on the regular, no.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's called it's a selfie stick, not an eyeball stick.
That's right. It's true.
But it was fun, stupid cuteness, exactly what I needed. With an animal that I could deal with this week, we will phrase it that way.
Well, and it's very similarly the same emotional lift as a Katamari game, where it's look, man, nothing's gonna happen in this game. It's blue skies. You're doing a bunch of dumb stuff with a bunch of dogs. It's not gonna be one of those games where someone's it's not the game you think it is. And it's no, it is. You're good. You're just gonna take pictures of dogs. That's it.
It's not grub snacks or whatever that thing is called.
Bug snacks.
Bug snacks. Yeah.
Bug snacks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that where it tries to go kick you in the teeth right at the end just for poops and giggles. It was fun. It was stupid. It was great. I had a good time. I wrapped up that game too because I put a couple of hours into it previously. Apparently, I never got a photo of Tony Bark, which is the skateboarding dog, which annoyed me. So,
oh no, goodness!
I had to go back and do that because, of course, I did.
Yeah. Just don't let the dog sell you NFTs. That's no good.
Yeah, don't worry, they didn't. But I did share all of my dog photos to the social media in the game. So I'm sure they've already been taken by AI art and turned into NFTs by AI.
Probably.
Yeah.
What a sentence that didn't make sense a year ago. Welcome to our nightmare. Yeah.
But no, it was fun. It was quick. It was simple. It was something I didn't have to think about, which is the most important thing for me.
Right.
And I had a good time. But that's all I've been playing. Then take us away to JRPG land, probably.
No, not this week, unfortunately. So we went full on Blue Sky, and my daughter and I played Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not Blue Sky. No, that is not a Blue Sky game.
It is occasionally Blue Sky, and then isn't.
It's occasionally happy feelings followed by deep, deep depression.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful, amazing, fantastic game. That is not a Blue Sky game.
Yeah. My daughter and I have no clue where we're at in this game right now. We've managed to. Let's see. We've got the.
Don't worry. You're on a show with the pro who's beating it on 3 different platforms, so I'm sure Boston can help.
I've beaten it too. We just need to look up a guide because I can't remember the last thing that we did.
In that middle part of the game where it's I can go anywhere and do everything, and there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay.
Yeah, because now we're just being hampered by, we can't make this ship upgrade because we don't have access to this item. And it's how do we get access to that item? Oh, you have to do more of the story. I'm all right, where did we leave off on the story?
Right. Which part should I do?
Yeah. So, we have, I think we're on the second to last length upgrade for the ship.
Okay.
So... Of course, I'm letting, I just play as the cat to help my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I let her build and do everything, and then, we try to figure out what we're doing. But, so she's got, all of her houses are just, on these giant stilts. They're as high up as they can go.
That's
and we've got, sheep pens on top of sheep pens that go, all the way up and, all this crap. And she's just having a lot of fun with it. I still enjoy the fishing game, even though it's kind of weird sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anytime we travel, I'm always on the back of the ship, just fishing, pulling stuff in.
Yeah.
That's about it. Oh yeah, we got another sheep, which we both forgot for a brief moment that if you let them wander, they will go into any of your gardens and start eating stuff.
That's right.
Which is what led us to building our own little sheep jail cell
Sheep
pin
pavilion.
thing everywhere. Yeah. So we could shove them all in there. But
Right.
yeah, for right now, we're just trying to remember where we're going. She doesn't like doing a lot of the mini games that you sporadically find, depending on.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, they're
Some of those
okay.
can get tiring.
They can. Like, the lightning one's still pretty fun, but I just wish you
Yeah.
could do a little bit more with the exploration in between the islands, because it doesn't feel like you're just sitting there wasting time pretty much. And
Mhm.
that map gets real big after a little bit. So
Yeah, even with the fast travel, there's some times where it's like, I'm just gonna kind of enjoy the sounds and the ocean noises, and maybe do some fishing or something.
yeah, you just listen to the music while it goes on, and then you're having somebody yell at you because they're hungry, and you're just like, all right,
Mhm.
fine, go sit down. I'll make you your 5th meal or whatever.
Right.
So, but yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We just need to figure out what we're supposed to be doing again.
Yep.
So whatever.
Spiritfarer's great.
My next Blue Sky game, Vampire Survivor.
There you go.
Oh.
This has turned into my just sit down and chill game,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I had to stop playing it a while ago on PC.
Right.
I have my unlocks hidden, so that way I can figure out what I need to do to progress next.
Yep.
Yep.
I have found a new favorite character. I do not remember her name, but she has the mana scrolls where she basically shoots stars above and
Yeah.
below her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name either, because they all have like goofy punny names.
Yeah, it's all super weird. But so that is my new favorite character to play as, and she wrecks stuff when I get her not even fully upgraded. Like, I get that, I get the Bible, and I get the garlic, and there's like nothing touching me anytime soon.
That's a great combo.
I also have figured out that I am heavily crutch dependent on garlic.
Ditto.
Yeah.
It's I need to have it every single run. I think because I like how aggressive the playstyle turns into. Like, with all the other stuff, you kind of have to hang out a little bit. But if you pick up garlic, it's like, no, I'm just going to run at every single enemy, and it will probably kill them.
Well, and the crap thing is like, it's kind of turned into my gauge as well, because I'm like, all right, I'm 10 minutes in, and this garlic isn't doing anything. I might as well just stop.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. And I've come in because the gallows? I have to get to level 80, doesn't matter what character, in the gallows. And I just cannot, like, I've gotten up to like 70 something, but then I just run out of time, and then death shows up.
Oh, sure.
And I have the revive and all that, and I think I've gotten really close to killing death already. I'm already at that point.
Yep.
But I'm also kind of stuck because on that map you can only go up and down. A couple of the maps you can move, around. But this one you can only go up and down, and there's like a chest or a question mark that I'm looking for that's off the path.
Yes.
I can't get to it. So right now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get to this?
That took me a while to figure out how to get that one.
Yeah, because now this has mirrors in the level. It has fireplaces in the level. So I'm walking into like all this crap. I'm like, okay, is there like a hidden entrance? It's like, this looks like it could be a doorway. I'm like, no, that's not it. So I'm doing like all this dumb stuff, and then talking with my son, he was telling me about how there's a new character that wasn't in when I was playing it called Toasty, which is a ghost. And so now I'm like, oh, I wonder if the ghost flies and I can fly off the map with the ghost.
Right. Also, as a non-spoilery tip, there is a very, very strong character in that level all the way to the south. You can get somebody very good by going all the way down there.
Yep.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure the thing you're talking about right now with that specific level, that specific question mark, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what me and Boston were talking about on this week's We Rogue Like It.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the coffins that's over there.
But I'm still having just tons of fun playing this stupid game. It is so simple and just fun. Earlier today, I had to go grocery shopping. It's like, okay, I need to do one more run to see if I can hit it. And then I'm like 3 or 4 runs in, and I'm like, okay, I need to do one more run and then shut this off so I can go shopping.
It's only a half an hour more. Yeah, Moon and I were talking about it in We Rogue Like It today, and this game has has been the only thing I have played this week, to the point where I only have 5 achievements left. Like, I am almost out of things to do in the game, because it's the same thing where it's like, let's just do a run in half an hour. Oh, I need to do another level 80 run with this other person. That's just another half an hour. I can knock that. One more. Yeah, let's just do another a boss rash level. That's only 15 minutes. Sure, I'll just do one of those. It's
I
really
received a text message from a friend of the show, Rob, yesterday at like 5:30 p.m. my time, being like, "Yo, this is the most achievements I've ever had to get," and it's literally a screenshot of his full gamer score on Vampire Survivors.
Nice. 142. Yeah. Well, and they put out a patch this week as well with a brand new level in at the tiny bridge, which is pretty intense. It's a pretty cool level.
Well, I've got hyper unlocked for most of the stages that I have now. I have hurry unlocked as well, so I have 2 times speed tacked on with like another 2 times speed, which also gives me like 2 times experience.
Right, you're running around like Sonic.
Yeah, so I can make these go quote unquote faster. It's still 30 minutes. The timer doesn't move faster.
Yeah.
But man, it's just so much fun, and I love the chest music, especially when you get a 5-layer chest, and you get like the fireworks, and then the music just kicks on. It's like,
it's
really good. Gonna be good.
Yeah.
So yes,
Vampire Survivors is. If anyone is listening to the show, you should really try it, even if you don't like roguelikes or anything. It really is something. I think we talked about it last week or the week before on We Roguelike It, of like, there are times where we run into roguelikes that don't want you to be powerful, and Moon and I always get really frustrated about that, and Vampire Survivors is always pushing you to be overpowered. It's like, no man, how about if it gets even crazier? How about if you get limit breaks? It makes the game even bonkers, more bonkers.
Arcane cards.
Yeah, like, do you want to get even stronger?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
It's like, they want to do damage when you heal. Like, okay.
Yeah. We'd love for you to do that. That'd be great. And it's like, thank you, Vampire Survivors, for letting me be overpowered and like invest in what we call it the meta game, where you're kind of improving everything in the game, not just like the thing you're playing in this run. And they're so happy to give you a super powerful meta game, so that like, oh, I'm starting this run and I start with garlic and it's like damaging everything on the screen and it's doing 3 other things, and that's great because I've invested the time and I've invested the like in-game currency to make this stuff strong. That just always feels super good.
I don't know if you would have got the mana card, the corresponding mana card yet, Nim, but the Twins is one of the most OP mana cards I've seen in that game.
Yep.
Because it gives certain weapons counterpoint weapons. So, for example, for the birds, it gives you a second bird with the 1 bird pickup.
For free.
It's just like, okay, sure, why not?
It's really wild.
I pretty much roll right now with the first Arcane. I think it's Arcane 10. Which everything heals and everything takes damage from you because you healed, which then further increases how much you're healing, because you're healing off of the damage that you're doing, which is buffing up how much you're healing.
Yep.
Man, this is like Disgaea rounds stuff. It's like I'm doing like millions of points of damage at the end of a run.
It's so good.
Just be thankful you can't like have like descendants from any of these characters, because otherwise you would be in a world of pain right now.
And then there's the whole I don't know why, I haven't figured it out yet, but certain characters have like 2 pips underneath them.
Oh, it's their art style.
It's outfits.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's what I thought. It's like, okay, this is either an outfit or this is an upside down thing, where it's like, well, you can play the normal version of this character, or you can play the introverted version of this character.
So you've already unlocked it if you're seeing the pips, but you know when you select a character and it moves the cursor to the bottom right hand continue, if you just hit left, you can hit A on the big character information screen and it'll just change their outfit right there.
And it's just,
I didn't even mess with that.
What it essentially looks like is like, here's the good looking character and here's the one I drew like 2 years ago that does not look that great. So it's kind of a fun, like,
they're all pixelated.
Dude, Poe's version is so much better. Like,
you like the OG
second
Poe?
outfit?
Yeah,
it's so much better than the actual new one.
Yeah,
I just love making that old man run.
it's so good.
Like,
Dude's cooking.
so yeah, so I had to go into unlocks and basically hide everything that I've already unlocked, so that
Yep.
way I had clear objectives. Because if I didn't, I would just be playing this game and
It's
not
such a
getting
such a
anywhere.
good system because like there's already a lot of what I thought was going to be the extent of it is like each character has a checklist of like here are all the levels you've completed, and I was like, yeah, that'll be good enough. But that unlocks menu is really smart. It's essentially all of the achievements, but like each one unlocks something, and that checkbox to say like hide the ones I've completed already. That's been the thing that I've been going through, where it's like, all right, I've completed this run. I did 3 more achievements. Let's go back in there and see what I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta do a run as this character. Yeah, let's go do that. I can do that right now.
I mean,
It's really good.
right now, my son and I were talking, and I have just unlocked an area that has a bone boulder in it.
Yeah, the
And
bone
when you-
zone.
Yeah, and when
Yep.
you beat that, you unlock the cheat menu in this game.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yep.
all right, yep. Which apparently that is the only way to get Toasty is you have to put in the cheat code for Toasty.
I
because
see.
You can't
Oh.
normally unlock it.
Yeah, the secrets menu is fun because
It's a
you can
spell
put
book.
in.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
It is
Not
a
a
spell book.
compendium.
menu.
Yeah, it's called the unfortunately it doesn't say spellbook on the main menu, which I think is sort of a missed opportunity. But I like that there are more challenges to do in there, but they also have just the spellbook stuff of like, look, if you know the spells already, or like maybe you've played this game before and you don't want to unlock everything for the second time, you can just put a bunch of cheat codes in there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I did find out that the cheat code for Poe is the strongest character.
Yep.
That's really good. I love
Yeah,
this game.
we were looking at the codes, and it's like old school command codes.
Yep.
It's like, power overwhelming and that kind of thing. Of,
Yep.
oh, hey, now I have God mode on or whatever. But
Yeah.
so yes, still having tons of fun with Vampire Survivor. It's on Game Pass. Check it out. How much? Do we know how much that is on
It's like
console?
$6.
It's
I was
$6
gonna
or
say,
$7.
I know it's not above 10.
No, yeah, it's under $10.
Yeah, I paid like $2 for it on PC, so
Yeah.
whatever. My next game that I have been playing is God of War Ragnarok.
I played maybe 30 minutes of this week, so I'm excited to hear your experiences.
I have beaten the game,
Oh, nice.
and myself and community member Optimus Servo have been talking in DMs pretty lengthily last night.
Okay.
Because I beat the game, and he and I had been going back and forth, and then he was talking about how long it took him to platinum it and all that stuff. So we've been going back and forth about endgame stuff. And this is one of those games where I really want to talk about it
Right.
with people who have beaten the game. I don't want to spoil it for people.
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those things. There's like, I'm sitting there trying to process this, and I'm talking with him, and we're going back and forth, and he's talking to, he brings up something. I'm like, oh dang, I completely didn't think of that at that time. And I'm bringing up stuff, and we're just going back and forth talking about this, and I'm like, this is a really good game.
Yeah, my kid was off from school the entire week for Thanksgiving, and I just like the entire week I'm just sitting there itching. I was telling my wife, I was like, I really want to play God of War, and like it is absolutely not an appropriate game for a 6-year-old to see or hear, and I really want to play. I got like half an hour to play a little bit, and I got into like a little bit into the next chapter, and I'm like, please, I just want to play so much more of this. I just want to sit down and play this.
Yeah, it's pretty much a good coming of age / reconciliation story.
Nice.
And I had a bit of a quiver in the lip when I got to the end. Didn't cry.
Right.
But there is some stuff going on. I was like, all right, I would like another game. I don't know who
Right.
I want it to follow or who it should be after, but I
Right.
would like an after story of, hey, this is what happened after this.
Right. How long did it take you to finish? Like just the main story?
I think I was just short of 30 hours.
Okay. That's good.
And
That's long. That's good.
Yeah, and that's with because I didn't just mainline it. I didn't do all the side stuff, but I did a good portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Optimus said he was at 40 to platinum it.
Oh, that's not bad. 10 more hours essentially. That's not bad.
And that's the thing. I've beaten the game and I want to go back and play more of it.
Right.
Because it little bit of mechanical story spoiler type thing. There's not a new game plus, but there is a post game.
Oh, sure.
So there's no like, oh, you beat the boss, now we're gonna take you back, before you beat, whatever. It's a continuation of the story.
Right. Like now it's done. Happening. Now go do the rest of the stuff. Optimus Servo in chat says 43 hours.
Yeah. So he and I were talking back and forth about that, and just talking about, I was like, oh, the arenas are back, and he's like, those suck. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I didn't do them. And then he's going in depth about the things that he had to do and the things that he had to repeat and refight. And I'm like, man, you are really, really talking me out of getting the platinum for this game. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it, because like I said, I just really love it.
Yeah.
And it's, now that I've beaten it, and I'm looking at my Game of the Year list, and I'm like, man,
it's gonna be a tough list this year.
Yeah, it's like I had an idea on where it's gonna be, and now that I've beaten the game, I'm like, it might need to be somewhere else. Yeah,
yeah.
Because I got a lot of good contenders this year, but yeah. I trying to think. Closing thoughts. I will say that there are parts, comparing it with 2018, there are parts where it kind of dips down story-wise. We're just like, all right, this is kind of stupid. This kind of sucks.
Right. Let's just get through this sort of thing.
Yeah, and like we were talking about with the arena, there's some of that where it's like, okay, I have to redo this fight. Like, I think he was saying he had to redo it like 5-10 times, certain fights in the arena to get the platinum, which not story related. It's all extra, so you can choose to do it or not do it. But either way, it's there for you to do, and it kind of sucks that you have to repeat it that many times to get something out of it. But yeah, man, I just want to talk about that game. It's great, and I can't wait for you to beat it, so that way you could also be like, man, did you what?
Yeah, hopefully this week. I should have some time to put into it this week.
Whatever. I would also say too, don't try to force it, because there were times where I didn't want to play it because I felt like it was throwing a bunch at you.
Yep.
And I pushed through it, and I still really enjoyed it. But if you feel like you need a break, take a break.
Well, that's why I appreciate so much when games like this have very clear chapter markers, where it's like, all right, you have finished this chapter, you're going back to headquarters. Just take a break. Now is a good time for you to kind of maybe take a break, come back in a couple hours, come back tomorrow. No worries. You've finished this story beat.
Yeah, they are really good at telling you, hey, we could go back home, or
that's right.
Is there something you want to explore here? Right. Maybe
we'll rest up tonight and go to the next place tomorrow. It's like, sounds good.
They are really good on telling you too that, hey, this is the point of no return.
Oh, good.
So they do let you know pretty heavily, hey, you can continue, or you can go do side stuff real quick if you feel you need to prep. So
yeah, that's nice.
But yeah, really good game. God, I love this game. So going from there, I lightly touched Horizon Forbidden West. Like we were talking in the pre-show, Sony is really hitting it out of the park with third-person,
cover-based skill tree, light XP RPG. Yeah.
And nothing against Horizon. This is just where I'm at right now. I couldn't help but feel, yes, I am shooting stuff with an arrow, but my God, I would rather be throwing that axe in God of War right now.
Right.
But once I got past that, I did play a couple more minutes of it. I am past, let's see, the last big event was the ambush for the
like with the
peace treaty or whatever
thing. Yeah. Where Angela Bassett comes out, and you're like, wait, Angela Bassett's in this game? Excuse me?
Yep. Yeah, they got some big names in this game.
They really do. Angela Bassett is great in this, by the way.
But I am at the point right now where it's like I just started doing side quests. There was a scavenger who needed me to get parts so we could build like the ultimate armor for some contest or whatever. And yeah,
That quest line is so much fun. It extends throughout the entirety of the game.
does it?
And you're kind of continually meeting someone and be like, I know the best armor. I know you talk to that other dude, whatever. His stuff sucked. My thing, you need to help me build the ultimate armor. It's really good.
Well, and that was the thing with this guy was at first he was like, hey, you know, if I'm in this competition, can you help me out? Here's a contract. All you have to do is go here, defeat the thing, get the parts. I'm like, all right, cool. So you come back after doing that and you give him the parts. And he's like, actually, you know what would make this really cool is if you go and get this other part from this other monster. You know, it's an antenna to help with flexibility. It'll make the armor a little bit lighter for you to wear. And you're like, all right, okay, fine, whatever. So then you go and get that thing and you come back. And he's like, actually, I've been thinking, you know what would be really cool is if I've heard that there's this fire-breathing thing out here. If you go and get that thing, like that would just make this perfect. And it's like, all right, fine, I will go out. And this entire time, she's like getting slowly more and more annoyed every time she talks to this guy.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you need another. And thankfully, like in game, they're never too far away from where you are, so it's not like walk for an hour and kill one thing to walk an hour back.
I had like fast travel points that were pretty close to these points that so I was just fast travel out, kill the thing, fast travel back.
Yeah.
So then you go and kill the fire breathing thing and come back with its thing, and the dude's like, this is perfect, this is great. But you know what would make this even better? And Aloy's like, you know what would be better is if you just built it, so that way you figure out how to perfect it.
Right.
And he's like, that is a good point. You can't make perfection if you haven't made it yet.
That's right.
It's like, oh my god. So I helped that guy out a lot, and that's the thing too. The mission wasn't difficult or anything, and it was some back and forth. But I was kind of at that point where I was like, if this guy sends me out for one more thing,
if you need one more thing, I swear to God.
So now I'm just slowly heading out west more. I found a tall neck. I haven't actually done anything with it yet because I got sidetracked hunting down foxes, which then turned into hunting squirrels.
There's like one tall neck really early on too that you can't deal with until pretty late in the game. But if I remember correctly, Aloy is pretty honest about it. Of like, I don't know what to do with this. Maybe I'll have to come back later. And she is telling you the truth.
That may be it, because it is the first tall neck on the map. But like I said, I haven't gotten close to it, because if you look at my map, you can see my trail where I've lifted the Fog of War, and I've completely circled around where you can go and find the tall neck, and I actually go into the area to find it. So I've just been hunting all kinds of weird random stuff, and now I've got all my things upgraded to as far as I can get it so far. And that's about as far as I got. It's just real fun running around, shooting random. I did feel really bad about a fox because it ran up to me and then it ran away. And I'm like, sorry, man, you're here.
Right. Then, I need a bigger pouch. Sorry.
There was another thing where I was fighting like it was like a charger and something else. And I've got like slow-mo going, and all of a sudden I noticed past the charger, hey, there's a raccoon behind there and I need its fur. So instead of attacking the charger who's running at me, I kill the raccoon and then come back and focus on the charger and take that thing out. And I'm like, all right, yep, priority.
That's right.
But that's all I've been playing this week. Oh, actually, I lied, because I don't know. Did you play Gungrave?
No, I didn't. Okay. I haven't. I just downloaded it today.
I was going to wait for you. So I will wait for you to talk about that when you get around to it.
Hopefully this week. We'll see.
That's
I don't
fine.
think that game is going to be very long, so.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing this week.
My wife and I played a bunch of Civ 6 this week. There's a Black Friday sale on the Frontier Pass, I think they call it. It's essentially like the pack of all DLC. It was half off, 65% off, something like that.
Everything you could ever want and more.
Yeah, pretty much. So we downloaded that, which we had a lot of problems with because PSN on Thanksgiving was down in Southern California, which I'm going to assume is a DNS problem, because it usually is. So we were able to, like, through a back method, download all the DLC, and then we actually tried out the pass the controller mode, the hot seat mode for multiplayer in that, because the internet mode wasn't working. We actually had quite a bit of fun with that. That worked out way better than I was expecting it to.
Cool.
The only frustration that we had was when you're playing on the internet, whenever you're done with your turn and like all the human players are done with the turn, you can see all of the units and everything move and attack and progress on screen. When we were doing the hot seat mode, when both of us would finish our turns and it would return to player one, it would just like blank out the screen with kind of a blue graphic on it and just say, please wait. And you can hear units moving and things attacking and units getting killed and stuff like that in the background. And that thing would clear. And then we'd be like, what? Like, my whole army is dead. What happened? Like, I don't understand. So like I was pretty frustrated that you couldn't see all of that. You couldn't see the turn happen in the background on the hot swap, like the hot seat mode, for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. But otherwise it worked pretty well. And the new stuff we downloaded is largely the weather, the stuff they put in at some point. They have volcanoes that erupt. They have like dust storms and blizzards and overflowing rivers and lakes and things like that. Most of that stuff seems pretty okay. We don't really play a hardcore game. Usually it's just my wife and I playing, and as soon as we meet each other, we like declare friendships and start an embassy, and then we just leave each other alone for the rest of the game. Competition does not work well for our relationship, so we avoid it at all costs. And most of the time it's really just like a race to the finish, and that's the most competition we do. I'm not like sending over like, oh, just don't worry, I'm just doing training exercises over here with my giant army. Don't worry about it. And then just like pushing that across the ocean. I'm not doing anything like that. But we have fun. We play it, I don't know, maybe twice or three times a year, maybe. And we kind of
you describing that way you're playing reminds me of Command and Conquer. When you used to play LAN or whatever with people.
Yeah,
you'd be like, yeah, well, 5 minutes, no stars.
5 minutes, no rush. Yeah, don't kill harvesters. Like,
and then as soon as that timer ends, and there's just an army of mammoth tanks rolling towards you.
On my mark, unleash hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that we like to play is where you team up, because you can set teams. But the bummer part about it is, the cool part about teams is you share discoveries with your teammates. So like if your recon or scout units are going out and finding landmasses and stuff, the map that you've discovered, you share that with your whole team, which is really cool. And like scientific and governmental improvements and stuff like that, all the things you've researched, those bonuses apply across your entire team, which is super cool. But you can't have a game, and I totally understand why. You can't have a game where like me and my wife are on the same team and that's it. Like there has to be someone else that's playing. So like we were trying to have another empire that was playing just with the AI, and we just set the difficulty all the way down. But the thing that drives me crazy about Civilization is I really hate dealing with all of the other empires, which I know is like 99% of the point of this game. But like I feel like every time I do anything in the game, like Cleopatra's over there like wagging her finger being like, you dare in the face of Egypt. And it's just like, I don't even know what I did. I think I discovered the wheel, and I'm not entirely sure why you're upset about that. And now you're declaring war? Like why I just found it irrigation. Like I don't even know. We haven't even formally met, ma'am. I don't know why you're so angry about something I've done. which is like half of the reason why it's just my wife and I. It's like, we're not going to deal with this. We're not going to deal with like other civilizations coming in and like changing one of my towns to their religion, which makes me the most angry in any video game in the history of video games. It's just like, oh, you know, France has come over and they've just they turned your city over to this other religion. I was like, you dare? How could you, in my capital, France? How could you? So we just avoid all of that stuff.
Dude,
we avoid
I already
playing
solved the
Civilization.
mystery.
Yeah.
The reason people attack you when you discover irrigation is because people fear what they do not know.
That's right. Fresh water. How could I? So I know that, like, I'm sure some like Civilization diehards are like, you're avoiding 95% of the game. Yeah, and I'm having a blast. It's great. My wife and I are having fun playing video games, so like, whatever, man. Who cares? But that's I played too much Vampire Survivor. Actually, the only thing I really played this week was Vampire Survivors because my kid was at home and we've just been like watching nonstop YouTube videos this entire week because she's grumpy that she didn't get to go to school. So I had almost zero time to play stuff this week, which is okay. I'll spend time with my family.
Just give her pop quizzes. Be like, if Daddy's
That's right.
doing 39 million points of DPS damage,
right.
is that enough to take out Death or not?
That's right. Well, and a lot of times she's like, Daddy, can I watch you play Marvel Snap? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to turn that down. Let's play some Marvel Snap, sure. She just really likes Devil Dino and Moon Girl. So that's my deck. I'm happy to show it to you. But that's all I'm playing this week, so let's take a break. I just got a text. My wife is heading home. Had a play date in the park today. So probably a very tired kid is coming home, which is great.
I'll say that's the bust.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go lay down? Here.
Yeah.
Here's the pillows I've prepped for you.
Oh, I have this blanket on the recliner. Oh. Maybe we'll do that.
I say it's even warm.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Oh man. Okay. Are you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
Yep.
No. Yes.
Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of November 28th, 2022. Sable is coming out on the PS5. We talked about that this year on Game Club. If you haven't played Sable, it's cool. It's a cool Mobius art designed non-combat exploration desert thing.
Every time you say that, I just think of the strip, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Mobius did a lot of stuff.
Is that still on Game Pass?
I
believe so.
Yeah, I believe so. I would have to double check.
So there you go. If you don't want to play the PS5 version, get it on Game Pass.
There you go. I think they've ironed out most of the technical issues too, which is great because it launched a little rough. The Night Witch comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. I hadn't heard about this until this week, but this is a cool-looking Metroidvania where you kind of spend a lot of time in the air. It's a lot of like hovering and shooting a gun at a bunch of stuff around you, so it's not like a platforming sort of thing, which I feel like every time we get a Metroidvania, this isn't a complaint because it's sort of in the name of it. It's a lot of platforming. A lot of like hack and slashing. So this one looks a little bit different with a cool art style. So check out the Night Witch. Front Mission First Remake comes out on the Switch. I have finally seen a lot of gameplay from this, and it looks like they're largely carrying this over kind of straight across, which is great because Front Mission, the first couple Front Mission games are really great. And this one is, you want to pilot some Wanzers and do your mech business, you got it here, and it looks a little bit more modern. So
the only downside is that it's only out on the Switch.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, boy, hopefully someday soon. No. It will probably never. Thanks, Square. Thumbs up. So waiting on those Pixel remakes. LOL. Gundam Evolution comes out PS4, PS5, and Series consoles. They're kind of making a Gundam Overwatch, which is weird. It's a first-person competitive multiplayer shooter Gundam, and
Sure, why not?
yeah, like you put a bunch of verbs in the hat and you came out with Gundam Overwatch. It's like, all right, sure, we're playing game dev story and we'll make this, and it sort of works. All right, sure.
Yeah.
So Gundam Evolution looks wild. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide coming out on PC. I thought this was also coming out on consoles this week, and I could not say 100% for sure.
I don't believe it is. I think it's
Okay.
they always do a slightly delayed release because
Gotcha.
consoles take a
they're-
little bit more to make.
Well, they're not a big team, so this is also Fat Shark, who made the Vermintide games. This is essentially Warhammer 40k version of those. Yeah, so
I think this has been in beta for a couple weeks now.
it has, yeah, and a lot of people have been surprised that it's a real beta and not a like wink. It's a demo beta. Like it has had a pretty spicy beta, but Fat Shark has been patching the heck out of it, and it seems like it has come leaps and bounds now that a grip of people have been playing it pretty hardcore. So it sounds like it had a bunch of problems when the beta launched, and they've been resolving them pretty steadily. So it seems like it's going to come out in a pretty good spot here. And I'm sure once they have that settled down, then it'll come out to consoles. So
spring 2022 is the expected announced. They were going to release a day and date, but due to the issues during the beta, they had to push it back a little bit for the console releases.
Okay.
So Series S and X, spring 2022 is all that's confirmed. Probably PlayStation at the same time, but it is Game Pass day and date, it's believed to be.
But yeah, I thought I heard that as well, that it was Game Pass. So that's honestly, that's the best way you can put out one of these games where it's like, hey, there's 4 of us. What should we play? We already finished something else.
It is on PC Game Pass right now, by the way, when it comes out.
Great. Okay. Nice.
Scoop.
Next up, Inscription is coming out on Switch. That's the Devolver Digital published roguelike wink. Next up, Marvel's Midnight Suns comes out PS5, Series consoles, and PC. They finally...
Again, another game that was like, that's now?
Yeah, it's out? Like, that's... Okay. They finally released a combat trailer this week, and that looks pretty good. Unsurprisingly, hey, the guys that made the most recent 2 XCOM games are making a pretty good XCOM game.
With cards.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, this is a Marvel card-based XCOM thing. If you have played the Metal Gear Acid games, you will probably know what this type of game is, where you're drawing a list of actions from a deck of cards, and the cards are going to dictate what you're doing, essentially. So, like, you're going to pull a card out for a skill, and then you're applying that skill to the battlefield somewhere. So it looks really cool. It's $60 or $70, so I'm not going to pre-order that. Also, I feel like I'm playing 15 other things at once right now, so I'm really curious to see where reviews are going to be for this one, because I think it could be something really cool, but I'm not willing to take the $70 gamble on this one right now. So we'll see here probably this week. I'm assuming reviews are going to come in pretty hot Monday, I expect. Need for Speed Unbound comes out PS5, Series consoles, and PC. This is that real weird, swirly, cartoonish kind of looking Need for Speed that I guess is a new Need for Speed game, so nobody seems to like it, even though it's not out yet. Which I guess is just the Sonic Cycle version of Need for Speed. But it looks fine.
It's Need for Speed, so it is going to sell like hotcakes because it's Need for Speed.
Yep.
It will underperform expectations because it's Need for Speed.
Yep.
And the hardcore fans among us, myself included, will be disappointed because it's called Need for Speed and not Burnout.
Right. And it will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And lastly here, the Callisto Protocol comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Can I beat 4 games in 2 weeks?
You'll never know until you try.
That's right. That's right.
And work 70-hour weeks as well.
Challenge accepted. Yeah, I'm sure most people listening to the show have seen Callisto Protocol, but this is essentially those guys that made Dead Space are making another one of those, just as a different team. And putting like way more gore into it. So it looks solid. I'm not expecting it to be a super huge, like ultra long game, which I don't think these games really should be. But they look cool. Looks like a cool little thing. So
Yeah, depending on how my finances look, based on my poor decision making recently, this is either a day one or a January for me.
Yeah.
Like I adore Dead Space. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I'm down for this. A hoodless horror game set in space. Give me that stomp, please.
That's my jam. Well, don't forget too, for our the quote unquote rules we've put together for our game of the year is that it's December to December of each year, and this comes out December 2nd. So you put it in next year.
I can put it next year if I want.
Yeah.
And Dead Space Remastered comes out in January, so
head to head.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
1 and 2 might be already decided.
There you go. Yeah. All right, that's all of our releases. Let's quickly talk about some of our questions for this week. Pharaoh Reigns in chat says, if you could exist in any video game universe, which one would you choose and why? Let's say maybe like Animal Crossing. It seems like nobody has a job there. Everybody seems like they're pretty well taken care of, and it seems like a really chill place. And I feel like that's the speed I would need right now.
Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding me? I get cute little fairy animals that never die of old age or sickness or anything like that. I just take them to a little poke hospital. It goes boom, 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 and they're fine. Great.
That's right. Well, and I feel
like you've got cows for the milk. You've got animals to do all of the most of your labor for you.
Let's not
like,
go down this route again.
Like,
yeah.
Who eats what? And, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just saying. I'll happily take a milk tank. Medium rare, please.
That's right. Well, and unlike most JRPGs, there's never like a world-ending cataclysm in Pokemon. It's just like, yeah, man, like we got a new champ. This character just defeated all the gym leaders, and now they're the best. Anyways,
but JRPGs are also known where the world-ending calamity doesn't actually happen until you're done getting all the fish from all the lakes in the world.
That's true. That is true. Get back into the routes, trainer.
Speaking of, I would go with Elder Scrolls. Just for all that extra space to explore and all the dumb stuff you can do in those worlds.
True.
That would be fantastic.
You want to see a dragon? Let's do it.
I want to see a Khajiit.
Yeah, that's true.
You
be
want
best
the
friends
worst.
with the walking
I hear
cat.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I was having a conversation with related. I was having a conversation with someone who is not a quote unquote video game player, or they don't view themselves as a video game player. They did not know how much of a gamer I was, and turns out that they, not video game player, plays ESO daily.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's hardcore, man. Goodness.
And like it was like, do you know what ESO is? Because like they was like, oh yeah, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online. I was like, ESO? Because they said Elder Scrolls, and I said ESO, and they were like, but do you know what that is? And I was like, yeah, Khajiit has wares.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Immediately they got it and asked me. It was like, well, what do you play? I was like, I just played the single player games because I don't want to get into that hotness. Thanks.
Yeah, I can't open the. It's like someone who's like, I don't play a lot of video games. I just play, the hardest raids in Final Fantasy 14, but just every day. It's like that's Serious, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I spent weeks planning out this one raid that we're gonna do, but it's fun.
Yeah. Goodness. That's intense. Moon has 2 questions here. First topic: digital sales versions, all in caps. Which do I own? Talk about this.
Okay, so the reason I bring this up, because the Black Friday sales are on right now, and I have like $24 in my Xbox account that I need to obviously spend as soon as possible.
And don't worry, Black Friday's a week now, so you got plenty of time.
I know, like they end on like the 2nd of December.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've got $24, and rather than just buy a $25 card and then buy Callisto Protocol, I was checking out the sales. I was like, okay, well, there's the Return to Arkham collection. I'm pretty sure I bought that. Let me just check. So I click it, and it's like, oh, $27 or whatever. It's like, okay, did I buy it or not? I need to know. So then I scroll down, and it's like, in this bundle, Batman Arkham Asylum, Return to Arkham, you own this. Batman Arkham City, you own this. I was like, then what bundle did I buy if it's not telling me I already buy this bundle? So then I looked. I bought the expanded Return to Arkham collection, which also had Arkham Knights in it, which had the game I haven't played yet included in it. So
gotcha.
That bundle shows me that I own it. But the other bundle that has one less game that I own both of them for still gives me an option to buy.
Like a Matryoshka doll, where it's like, oh, you own the big bundle, but not the little one that owns the other 2 games. But there's another one, too, that owns the director's cut of the first game that has these other. It's like, help me, please.
Let me point you to my friend Final Fantasy VII Remake, where
yes,
console version matters. Between those 2 depends on whether or not you can get the DLC version. But if you bought the PS5 version, it already comes with the DLC version, but not if you got it free from Gold.
Right. But this version is the only one with the fishing mini game in it. They patched that in later.
And then the same thing happened with Lego Star Wars. I was like, they were like, oh, the Lego Star Wars, like the definitive, some edition. They literally
Ultimate
just
Gold,
changed the name
Platinum.
of it. It's not even a big change. It's just like it comes with like 2 character DLCs or something. But they just changed the name of the base game and included these people in it, and now they're charging $70 for it because why wouldn't you?
Of course.
But as such, I can't find the original version of Lego Star Wars, the new one, the Skywalker Saga, in the store. The only one that exists in the store is this new edition, which it tells me I don't own. So if I wanted to download the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, I'd have to go into my games and find it and download it there. Because when I go into the store, it tells me I don't own that game.
What a nightmare.
They need to do a better job.
You don't buy digital.
Yeah.
Screw that, dude. I have not enough space.
There's so much crap in that. Like you were saying, it's like, okay, do I have the gold version, the platinum version, or did I buy 2019's ultimate version?
Oh, you didn't get the Game of the Year edition? Oh, you're missing so much content.
And it's
I am now the proud owner of The Witcher 3 twice.
Yeah.
Both digital versions.
Oh, man. Well, you probably got both of them for like $7 a piece, so it can't be too
$9 and $7. So yes, in total for arguably a game of the generation that I haven't played.
I paid both DLCs usually go on sale for like $10 each. So.
That current gen patch is coming out here pretty soon.
Yep,
I know, and
great
I may or may not already own the Witcher 2 complete edition. So I'm just saying, 2023 might start off with me playing the 2016 game.
I'm just saying
that's a classic.
Haven't lived until you've started Witcher.
That's right.
I have started The Witcher 2 plenty of times.
Yeah. Will we ever finish it? Tune in next year.
I was going to say, that was one of the first games where you have like open world paralysis of, wow, there's so much crap going on.
Yeah.
And if you pick the incorrect direction, you're gonna die.
Yes.
Yeah. It's also one of those games where they're like, hey, get ready to play this bad boy twice, because we have 2 sets of achievements for the 2 sides of the story that you can choose from.
Gross.
I think there was one for the second one. I think they had it on difficulty as well. You couldn't do like a New Game Plus or something, and it wouldn't, if you did the hardest difficulty, it wouldn't backfill to the one below it either. So you had to play both of them.
But yes, I am annoyed with digital stores right now because I own too many games as it is,
Mhm.
and now I'm buying games that I have previously played because I would like to have them in my library at some point. And it's like, well, which version do I own? Please tell me.
What do I
Like,
got?
give me like,
Or the
and
the other worst thing too that I've noticed, more so with Microsoft Store than PlayStation's, and I don't know why, is when you search for a game and it's not auto-populating the title, and you've got like the full title in there, and the games it comes up with is not what you're
Like you put
looking
the
for.
Callisto Protocol in there, and they're like, "Yeah, FIFA 2023," and it's like,
Yeah. And
no,
then you
what?
have to scroll down like 5 tabs, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, here's the game I'm looking for, word
Tho-
for word.
The one thing that I will give the Sony store over the Microsoft store is they have a really good compare versions view in the store on the PS5 of like, here are all of the versions lined up from like the cheapest version to the highest one in order, and here are the ones you own. And hopefully it's only one of them. And like, here's all the stuff you get in the pack as you kind of get the more expensive ones. That's a really smart way of doing it.
So the Xbox does have something similar to that right near the bottom of each individual's game page.
Okay.
But when it delists games
Ah,
or something
Yeah.
like that, it doesn't show up in that list anymore. I ran into the
Gotcha.
exact same issue with Resident Evil 2 Remastered.
mhm.
I pre-ordered it, so I got the pre-order version and the stupid PvP game that never came out or did come out and I never played, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But because I got the pre-order bundle, that pre-order bundle is no longer in the store, so it tells me that I don't own that game at all. And it's like,
That's the one thing I like about the Sony store too, is they'll show all of the DLC even if you can't get it anymore. A lot of times it'll just be like pre-order bundle for Resident Evil 2. It'll just say unavailable.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's really, and if you own it, you'll be able to go download it. But if not, it's just like, yeah, this came out. It's not for you. Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really annoying me this week. And
Yeah.
it could just be because I'm on the edge with everything else that's going on.
Right.
But that
It
was one of
should.
those things that's just like, come on.
In
Yeah.
a perfect world, when you go into the search field, it should search your library and the store.
Yeah, it's
And
all
then
in
tell
the
you,
like it's all in
hey,
the same account.
You typed in Star Wars, this is what you own, this is what you can buy.
Mhm. My wife
So
deals
the
with
Xbox
this. Okay.
like does that for installed. So if you have something installed, it shows up like on your
Okay.
Xbox from the store, and that's if you do the Y button search from like the home page.
Mhm.
It'll do on your Xbox versus in the store. If something is out of my frequent rotation, I'll usually just search for it because it's quicker than going through the library of games I have installed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that when you do the search in the actual store itself.
That's
Really annoying.
Man. Moon, what's your other question here?
I
close
want
this
to know
out.
what your favorite things are that it was given a name once, and then
Okay.
that name was so famous or popular that it stuck with it forever.
Okay.
So the examples I've got here are the easy one, a portal gun from Portal
Sure.
2. So now anything that shoots portals is now referred to as a portal gun. Obviously,
Gotcha.
that's descriptive of it, but no one's given it a funny name.
Mhm.
You've got roguelike, which is obviously one or two games like, yeah, it kind of like Rogue, so what a bit of roguelike, and then all of a sudden it's a genre onto itself.
Sure.
And probably the best example here is Railgun.
Mm,
Because
yeah.
Railgun was Quake, I believe it was the Railgun.
Quake 3 is probably one of the most popular ones, yeah.
And then ever since then, anytime that specific type of gun is that shoots through walls, like anytime it's being brought up, it's a railgun. It's nothing
Mhm.
else. It's just a railgun. That's what Quake called it. Nobody calls it anything else. Like, it's in Red Faction. It's in, I think it's in Unreal at this point. It's in a whole bunch of different games. There's guns
The
that
Metal
shoot
Gear
through
Solid
walls.
2.
Yes, and everyone calls it a railgun.
Yep. That's a good question. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there's anything.
There's
The
also the
BFG.
Vinny. Yep, BFG.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good one.
example.
I
There's the probably niche option that we have here, which is the Vinny Caravella explanation for an intro to a video game, which is the abilities, which is
Yep.
still one of my favorite things he's
That's
ever said.
one of the best. I feel like the Doom 2 shotgun is still like when people are like, oh yeah, it's like the double barrel sawed off, like it's a Doom 2 shotgun. You know, it's that thing. I feel like that's still kind of a go-to for maybe our generation. Man, that's a good question. I'm trying to think if there's anything other than Fortnite that's kind of ripped off Among Us, and I feel like we haven't really seen anything else that's kind of taken that sort of thing. I think maybe a more modern example would be Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. I feel like over the last 2 years or so, there have been a lot of games that are exactly like that, of you're playing with someone else online. There was that one that came out on PS4 and PS5 where you're like spies or secret agents or whatever, and like one person is doing something on one screen and they're giving the other person information to do something on their like part of the level they're in, or like they're in headquarters controlling something that the other person is seeing. And I feel like we're kind of getting a subgenre of this kind of like competitive time-based things like that.
Yeah, like I call all MOBAs like Dota. I was like, oh,
Right.
it's like Dota.
Yeah.
Like which is in of itself like a derivative of something else. But I call them all Dota games because that's the name I know.
Right.
That's also where I learned the term feeding as a general term. But it's like these little things are like, who came up with the term buff first? That's just been used ever since it was created.
Yeah, D&D in the 70s probably.
I was gonna say, or people who like, you know, noobs or scrubs.
Right.
But then like in Call of Duty for the longest time, the M203 grenade launcher attachment on your rifle was called the noob tube. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that
red barrels.
Yeah, there you go.
When you shoot something that's red and it doesn't blow up, and you're like, no, this is defective.
Right. Game's broken. You shipped a broken game. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can think of anything else. You came out. I feel like Portal Gun is kind of the best modern example. Oh, Pharaoh Reigns in chat has Blueberry. For Destiny 2. That's I feel like that one's probably one of the most interesting ones because it's so often misunderstood. As a lot of people think it means a bad player, like someone in your group who's bad. It just means another player in the game because they show up as a blue dot on the radar. It doesn't mean bad player. You can just call them bad players.
I was wondering how you guys got that, because that Blueberry means something completely different to me.
Because yeah, in game it's just like it's another player that's not part of your fire team. But it's kind of a fun team of like, yeah, look at that Blueberry over there. What are they doing? Just emoting in the corner of the tower.
Well, and so in the military and the Navy, a Blueberry is just someone who wears their service utilities, which usually means that they're new.
Right.
So every time I heard you guys say Blueberry, I always just associated it with a new person, and that's and every time I heard you guys talk about it, and that's why I was like, how did you guys ever come to that? Because I know why I know that, but
yeah, in Destiny they're called either New Lights or Kinderguardians. Which are Kinderguardian is still a really great term.
Oh, Sherpa.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we are out of time here. Thank you, Feyror and Moon, for providing us with a bunch of fun questions for this week. Appreciate it. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Oh, Louise had to show up here and aggressively headbutt Moon. Hi, Louise. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget to join the Discord for all the... There's a new season of Destiny ramping up here in like a week and a half or so. So jump on in, play that with us. If you're playing Marvel Snap, because you probably are, come join the channel for that. That's been hopping lately. A bunch of experts over there, like Bill, are helping all of us out with our sort of making our decks the best they can be, which I greatly appreciate. And don't forget follow us on the YouTube channel like we've been talking about lately. Everything we record audio for, we record video. So even if we don't live stream it, the video will go up there if you want to see us, our faces chat about this stuff. And as always, come join, become a patron. Patreon.com/E1M1.
Those ones are the digits.
Talked about all of the bevy of audio you get every week at the top of the show. We sincerely appreciate all of your support financially over there. It makes it so I don't have to worry about where the money for the show comes from, because being a stay-home dad,
we could always do with more.
Oh yeah, if you want to hit that $250 a month goal, you can hit that, and I will play some spooky, scary stuff, probably in the middle of the night
for your viewing pleasure.
And
that's right.
If you like people screaming and yelling and everything else, then
crying a little bit
for you.
Yeah, I won't be openly sobbing, but there'll be some.
There were a lot of people
tears
in Discord talking about figuring out how to ship you a VR set so you can play Resident Evil 7.
Okay. I'm more than happy to cry on camera. I'm not very happy to throw up on camera. Yeah, but we appreciate everybody's support over at the Patreon page. If you can't support us financially, totally understand. So you can share the show and share all your favorite stuff on social media. Tell your friends. All of that stuff really does genuinely help. Not only this show, but anything you listen to or watch or enjoy. Word of mouth helps everything a considerable amount. And we sincerely appreciate it. We appreciate you listening to the show. And we hope we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Nymph, what titles do you have this week?
I have I'm My Own Adult. Currently building my third world. He's My Stick Measurement. Tony Bark. Heavily Dependent on Garlic. And That's My Deck. Happy to show it to you.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Moon, what do you have?
That I didn't hear. What if it's a kid? I might have a problem. I need to hit at once. Slow, insidious growth. Accidental branding. Big same. Turned into NFTs by AI. The Bone Zone. I know it gets a veto. And Miltank Medium Rare.
I have accidental branding, and I'm My Own Adult. Is there anything else you guys like out of accidental branding? Is like my leader this week, personally. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys.
I mean, I like Miltank Medium Rare, but that's just because I like the visual of people grilling a Pokemon, like the cat chefs from Monster Hunter.
Oh man, they struck gold with those cats.
Oh,
they really did.
100%.
It's so good.
I'm fine with one.
I'm fine with accidental branding.
Yeah.
All right. I'll circle it. Let me know when you guys are ready. Louise has ideas, I'm sure. And her idea is I'm going to throw up on
food
you.
and sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a hairball with your name on it.
She's actually not a hairball cat, which I'm pretty appreciative for.
Nice. Thanks, Louise. Thanks for being a bro.
Bye. There
we go. That's a happy cat. I'm very happy I don't have to think of anything for titles this week because my brain is not working.
I've got something.
Oh no. Does Moon and Louise have something?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the way to phrase it without tripping over myself.
Ah.
Oh, don't. Just go with it.
That's right.
Because I could almost guarantee you I'm going to trip over what I'm about to say. So.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 788 for November 28th, 2022. accidental branding.
I really like my crocodile fizz.
Don't forget to visit our website, destinyemblemcollector.com.
That's right. Cross branding. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
Mhm.
Donate to the fundraiser. Hashtag Game to Give 2022. Hashtag Little Lights. All right. Thank you very much, everyone,
Okay.
for watching and listening.
Let's
And
say
thank
hello.
you, Louise, for being cute. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.